Hi guys, I'm Ryan Houston and welcome to my Fly Tying channel. Your video is about to start shortly. Please take this opportunity to hit the like button down below, leave some comments, tell your friends. Interaction, likes, subscriptions help my channel to grow and help me to keep producing content for yourselves. If you're new to my channel, check out the other videos that I've got. There are over 500 videos at this stage, so there should be something there for everybody. Again, video is about to start. Hit that like button down below. Hey guys, so tonight we're going to tie a black and silver Seatrout muddler. Now this is a pattern by STEFFAN Jones and you can watch him tie his original over on Fishing Whales. So this is a saltwater shrimp in a size 2 hook from Partridge. It's an unusual hook and sort of the curvature of it and the shape of his fly is what attracted me to tie this one. So hopefully we're going to end up with something along the lines of this when we're done. So I'm going to use a gel spun to tie this. I'm going to use a thin, clear or white gel spun, whatever you want to call it. And trim that. Now I find gel spun doesn't have a great pile of friction. It's extremely strong stuff, but can tend to slip, so I'm just going to super glue the hook and then wrap backwards and forwards through that to give me a base for my dressing to stick to. So as you can see by the bobbin hanging here, I've come down to a point that's level with the point of the hook. So for the tail on this fly, you want to use some sort of black hackle fibers. So we take a black hackle, this is like a schlappany type hackle, and I'm just going to take the fibers, let them slide through until it sort of aligns them, and then rip that off. And we fold that together, we get a tail. So sea trout are sort of notorious for nipping, so you don't want to end up overly long on your dressing. So I'm just going to sort of line them up a little bit, and then I'm going to come to just a very short bit behind the bend of the hook. And these tag ends here I'm going to tie over, so that we end up with an even underbody. So wrap that back. Again, we're just around about there. Turn underneath it and over it again. So for the body, I'm going to use a holographic flat silver braid. And again, I'm going to tie that in along the length of the body. Secure it back to where our tail is tied in and come forward. So fairly strong material, but I'm just going to put a little bit of clear varnish on my underbody there, and then wrap that braid forward. Now you can see I'm leaving quite a bit of room at the front here because we're going to put a wing and a muddler head on that. So wing, I'm going to use black squirrel. I'll take a bunch of that. I'm holding it by the tips and I'm just going to flick out any of the short stuff. And then it's up to yourself as to whether you want to tamp this down or not. So you could put that in a hair stacker and get yourself a perfectly level end to your wing. I'm just going to measure that up to the same length as the tail. Transfer over. Check with my scissors where I would like to cut it. So I want to leave a bit of room at the front where there'll be no wing tied on. And then I'm going to just cut at a slight angle. set that up and take a pinched loop across it. And it's just sitting there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of super glue just into that cut end of it. It'll sort of seep in, and before it dries then I'm going to bind it down. And tie back onto it. So the gel spun, being how strong it is, allows us to really tighten down into that. So, next are some jungle cocks. I'm going to take one from each side here of our cape. And tie them on the side. Fairly long, because otherwise the muddler head might obscure it. And STEFFAN advocates them sort of dipping down a little bit. I suppose if the fly is riding high on the surface, then if you want them seen, that kind of makes sense. I'll just strengthen all that up and make sure that we have a good solid base and that it's evenly tapered. So then we're going to put on our deer hair head. So we have a black deer hair here. I'm going to cut off a bunch of that. I'm going to grab it by the tips and give it a blow just to get any of the under fur out of it if possible. Transfer it back into my right hand, and then I'm going to measure this up so that it comes back to around about the hook point-ish. And my thread's hanging where that head starts essentially. So I'm going to put on 2 loose loops, laps, loops, whatever you want to call them. And then I am going to cut this off just in front of the eye and then tighten into that and wrap into it. Come through it, and then we're going to add a second bit on the front. Again, get rid of the underfur. I'm going to put that on back, pointing the base of it pointing backwards first. So if I fold this back and then measure it up so that it's the same length as these other bits, grab it, same thing as before, place 2 loops, cutting this off then in front of the eye. So again, this bit's shorter than that, and we should achieve some sort of taper to that, which will help with our trimming when it happens. Wrap through it, get our thread, half hitched in behind the eye. And then we just need to trim up our deer hair head. So these scissors I'm using have a slight curvature to them, and if I'm sort of resting the base of it here on the eye of the hook, and then as I go around, so I should be sort of getting the same shaping as I go around. And if you think it's obscuring the hook too much underneath, then you can just go a little bit flatter with it there. So that's fly tied. Just to secure the dressing in place, what I'm going to do is take my super glue and a cocktail stick. I'll get a little blob of super glue on the end of it, hold this deer hair back and just get that right in here at the back of the eye, and then I'm going to pinch my fingernails back into it. So that is Stephan Jones black and silver sea trout muddler. I think it's a really attractive pattern. I just wish we had a lot more sea trout here in Ireland to fish for. But if you like what you see, give us a like, subscribe, tell your friends, check out the other videos, and check out Stephan's video on his own channel. And until next time, tight lines, and thanks for watching.